Hello everyone, it's Yuri Kasdorp here again from Oracle Red Bull Racing Esports, and today we've actually got a nice Oracle Red Bull Racing livery on the car as well for the first time. We are here, as you might have noticed, at Silverstone, week 4 in the VRS series, and we're driving the Audi this time, so not the Lambo but the Audi. It's a fairly similar car, but there's a couple small differences. How does it look like? Let's have a look in the track video itself. Alright, so here we are starting the lap. Race field like usual. Gonna lash again. Running the Audi this week here, but it's very similar to the Lambo. Turn 1, we want to keep it on the left side. Use the curb on entry. Make sure we don't turn too deep. That way we still have a decent entry for turn 2. Keeping it left. Use the 100. Light apex. Always tricky to see where the apex is for turn 4. It's got a good exit. Looking to the right. Always tricky to not lose the rear into this corner. Bring it to 50. Double apex here. Apex at the start. Get the car rotated. Fire it out of the corner. Big run of the cops. We're braking somewhere between 150 on the left side curb here. Also the inside curb. Bottle early. Use all the track on the left. Maggots and packets. Careful with the new off tracks here. So you don't want to go all the way over the right side curb anymore. Go over the left side and right side. Focus on good exit. Got the hanger straight, and then we need to brake a bit earlier than I'm used to. A bit before the curb on the left side here now. Gonna go over to the inside, bottle early. Use a bit of the curb on the left side here, brake just before the curb on the right here. Bring it over to the inside, close to the curb there on the inside as well. And the run up to the start finish line. That's the lap in the Audi on Silverstone. Alright, so here we are from the outside cam. Gonna have a closer look at the lap we just did. Turn 1, we want to extend the entry a bit. So we want to run on this left side curb, which you'll see quite a lot. And then you see the dip in the curb there. That's what I use to start turning in usually. So just at this dip here, tap on the brake. Get towards the inside. 2 tires need to stay inside the white lines here, otherwise you get an offset on the inside. And what I try to do is not run all the way over to the curb on the left here, because then you need to lift too much in turn 2. If you stay about half a car width away from the left side line, you can open up turn 2 so that it's almost flat or even flat depending on how much ring you're running. Getting towards the inside here as well. Again, you can run this flat, but then if you come out for braking for turn 3 too far in the middle of the road, you're going to lose too much time, so you want to make sure that you can start braking just before the 100 and make your way to the outside curb here. To the inside here, you can take this in third or in second. I think second's a bit faster, but I took it third this lap. To hit the apex here, get towards the right side, open up the next corner, and this one's really tricky because if you go from the onboard cam, this A-pillar here is in the way, you can't see where the apex is. And if you get here too early, go from the outside cam, it's a very big sausage curb. If you run onto that, you're going to lose a lot of time. So I try to go to the right side here. You can also keep it a bit further from the middle and then slow it down a bit more at the apex. Both lines work. If you open the corner up, you lose a bit more on entry. You gain that back on the exit. So it could be a good way to set up your move on another car as well. Run all the way to the right side on the curb, open the corner up. Next left-hander is easy flat. And then we get to a very tricky corner in my opinion. I think it's Brooklands, yeah. And we want to use this curb on the right side here. And then angle the car a bit towards the corner so that we can brake as much in the straight line as we can. And we brake just before the 50 marker. So we bring our car on the curb here. Then before we start braking, we angle the car a bit towards the track so that we're not pointing to the outside anymore or straight. You see my car is pointing a bit towards the track. And then we start braking. And what that does is we can brake without turning as much as we would go to the that side or in a straight line. And then you want to brake here, and the rear wants to step out this last moment here, as you can see. I shift down to second gear, and the moment you shift down to second gear, the rear wants to start stepping out. Happened to me before as well. Bring it to the inside. And then here you want to do a double apex. How deep you run depends a bit again on the setup you're running. But what I like to do is, again, open the corner up a bit so that you're not completely hugging this white line. Open it up a bit, hit the curb on the inside, and then start braking a bit. Get the car rotated away from the curb. So we're turning more than the radius of the curb here. And then once I've turned the car that much, I'm pointing towards the inside curb again. I don't have to turn as much as the radius of the inside curb, and I can go on throttle really early, kind of fire the car outside of the corner. I got a big run up to Cops corner. And Cops is all about keeping your speed up. You don't want to kill too much speed of the car on the entry, so small tap of the brake on entry. I brake about the exact middle point between the 150 sign. It's very hard to find the reference between them. And then try to get your right tires towards this curb or even a bit on this curb. And again, throttle early so that we can carry the speed to the outside. As long as your right side tires are, I think, halfway down this curb or close to the edge of the curb, you don't get an off track. I feel like if only the edge of my tires are on the black and white curb, sometimes I get an off track, so be careful with that one. Then we're running to Maggots Packets. This big curb on the left side here might look very big like in Sector 1, but you can actually run over it without upsetting the car too much. And that opens up the right-hander a tiny bit more, which is important, especially now, because the off-track there is a lot more tighter than it used to be. So we're braking, or not braking, we're driving on this big curb here. Again, it looks a lot higher and a lot more scary than it actually is. Getting towards the inside here, braking just after I come off that curb. And you want to keep your left side tires inside the white line. Can't run as wide on this anymore as you used to be able to. Again, make sure that you're not all the way on the white line here, entering the next left-hander. Make sure you're a bit off that. That way you can turn the car a bit, coming towards the inside. And you want the apex, where this green curb on the inside is. Again, you don't want to run all the way over that to avoid the off-track. And then slow the car down about in the middle of the track or even a bit to the left of it to focus on a good exit out of the next right-hander. Bring the car to the inside. Again, 2 tires within the white lines. And you want to start building a throttle early here. You run all the way to the left side. Keep your 2 tires on the track within the white lines. And you avoid the off-track. So all of those corners there are very critical on the off-tracks. Make sure to not get them in the race, but especially in qualifying because your lap won't count. And then we get to the next right-hander. I think it's a bit more tricky than it used to be. I struggle a lot with understeer on the entry here, and it didn't used to be the case with the older update of the cars. I used to brake at the start of this curb. Now I brake right around the 100 mark. Keep it to the left initially and then slowly start building it towards the inside. You don't want to hit the curb too early on the inside here. Hit it right around in the middle and you can start building your throttle really, really early here. And opposite to what I've done to a lot of the other parts of the track, this happened like not this season but the season before, is that you can run further to the outside here than you used to be able to. So in this point here actually, you can run all the way on the curb. You don't have to look at the white line and this won't be an off track. So you can use the curb on the exit here. Then we only got the last chicane left. You can brake at the 100, but what I like to use is the start of the curb on the right side here. I think it's at pretty much the same point, but it's closer to my field of vision where I'm looking anyways. So I use the start of the curb as braking point. Get the car rotated. And again, you want to stay tight after the first left-hander to open up the second right-hander. So you want to stay tight to this curb here. Right before I do the direction change, small tap on the brake or even lift here. So right before the direction change, lift of the throttle. Get as close as you can towards this anti-cut on the inside. This again, unlike Maggots Beckets, this is a big one. You don't ever want to hit this. It might even damage the car if you do. So you want to get close to this without hitting it, and then open up the corner, throttle early, and keep your steering wheel smooth here to not take too much of the tires. And that's the lap on Silverstone and the new GT3 cars. Alright, so that wraps up another lap guide, this time in the Audi. I hope you guys learned something. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and see you all in the next one.